But next season, we're coming for your ass.
Coming for them bomber club.
We don't come for no man batty, we come for gal. And no gal batty. Gal pum pum we are deal with, yeah? A war.
Yo, walk on people. Or if you prefer, hello, how are you? I hope you're well. It's Kitmanaman. And guess what? We are outside. We are outside. We are outside. We're outside the Emirates. Last day of the season. Yeah? And you know what happens at the end of the season? It's end of season review time. Yeah? So before we get into the video, start chatting to Arsenal fans, seeing how they think this season went, and you know, a couple little questions and that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and as always, enjoy. Come on, you Gunners, let's go. Oh, Santi Cazorla. Sorry. Okay, bro, he was such a great player. Yeah. I was the first person for today. Actually, in my bedroom. Man like Bucksview. Go check him out. Yeah, on YouTube. Links and that will all be in the description and all of them things. Liam, come on, bro. Aaron. Yeah. Got some more people here. Yo, Troopz, my guy. So, I'm here with the Man Like Turkish.
Come on, G, he's here, bro.
End of season review. I've got a couple questions for you. Yeah? First question. What were your expectations of this season before a ball was kicked? What did you think was going to happen?
Expectations were definitely what I wanted it to be, which was us to achieve top 4, us to play solid, fluid football, you know, liquid football. I think what I saw this season, that was my expectation. We slightly exceeded, but ultimately, prior to the season starting, it was definitely top 4.
Yeah, top 4. What were your expectations of this season before it kicked off?
I made quite a bold prediction. I thought 3rd place, to be honest.
Okay, so you weren't that far off.
It was ambitious, yeah, it was ambitious, but they've exceeded.
But yeah, they exceeded. First of all, before a ball was kicked this season, what were your expectations? Where do you think we was going to finish?
I was expecting competing for top 4, maybe going in between 4th and 5th. Like, I wasn't expecting it, but I was expecting to compete.
Yeah. First question, what were your expectations of the season before a ball was kicked?
Top 4.
Top 4?
Yeah, I thought top 4 was a must. I thought we had a chance of getting near the top, but not quite competing. I thought we'd fall off at the end.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the signings were good, so.
Cool. What was your favourite goal of this season?
Do you know what, yeah? My favourite goal in the season was recently, you know, bro. It was the game at Newcastle.
Okay.
My favourite goal for me was Odegaard scoring 1-0 against Newcastle away from home.
Took the pressure off, innit?
Bro, that
we were
goal,
under the cosh.
I'm telling you.
We were under the cosh.
I'm telling you, Marcus, that goal, it took so much for a team like our team to be able to break that deadlock, you know.
Because we could have been 3-0 down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And looking at what Newcastle's done this season and how they played this season, away from home, at home, for us to do that and for Odegaard, you know, to break the duck in that way, in that fashion, that was for me the best goal this season.
Yeah. What was your favourite goal this season?
My favourite goal, easy one for me. It was Reece Nelson's against Bournemouth, that last minute winner.
Yeah.
Pretty easy one.
Favourite goal this season?
Oh, I have to say Odegaard's strike against Spurs at their ground was a personal favourite.
That is a good goal.
Yeah.
Alright. What was your favourite goal this season?
Maybe Odegaard's at Tottenham away, because I went to that game. I was sick.
Martinelli v Liverpool, we all went mental. Or the Nelson one. The Nelson one was unreal.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say that already today. What was your highlight of the season? Your favourite moment this season?
My favourite moment of the season has to be the Reece Nelson 3-2.
Yeah.
I think for
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you. Because for me, that was, look, I wasn't at the stadium for that game, but it was mad. You know, I could feel the energy from the stadium. Like, I was kind of in between Eddie Nketiah 3-2.
Yeah, Man
United.
Yeah,
but for me, it has to be Nelson, just because it's someone who you least expected for him to make that impact and to make that difference.
What was your highlight of the season? Your favourite moment that got the energy going?
I could say the same moment, to be honest, but I think back to earlier in the season when we beat Liverpool. We beat Liverpool here, and that's something we haven't done for a while. We haven't beat a top team at home for a while, so that was nice. Yeah, that was nice.
We cooked them.
And the Spurs one, to be honest, as well.
Okay, you had a lot in it. There was a lot. What was your highlight of the season? Your favourite moment this season?
I think even that week, beating Spurs and then beating United in that kind of 7-6 day windows. That's when I started to believe it would happen, but then look how it ended up. So.
What was your highlight of the season? Your favourite moment of this season?
The Bournemouth game. because everyone went insane and everyone was.
Either that or Spurs away. Spurs, we never beat Spurs away, and that tide's changed now.
What was your lowest moment of the season?
My lowest moment of the season was the Liverpool game, bro. How we
Really?
conceded that 2-2. Yeah, man.
What was your lowest moment this season?
Lowest moment of the season, probably losing to City.
Yeah.
We
Which
know
one?
what it meant. The second time.
Yeah.
We know what it meant, and yeah, I think for most Arsenal fans that was the end.
What's your lowest moment of the season?
Oh, I think when the other week when it was confirmed when City won the league.
Without them even kicking the ball?
Yeah, I think that's the most painful thing. Like they were sitting, you seen the videos of them at home in, I don't know, someone's house watching it, and we're all just annoyed that we lost. So
Okay, what was your lowest moment this season?
Drawing to West Ham
After being 2-0 up? Yeah, that's fair.
City away finished us.
Yeah.
I still had a little bit of hope up to then. That was it done.
Who was your favourite player this season? Doesn't necessarily have to be who you think the best was, but who was your favourite?
My favourite player this season, 100% without a fail of a doubt, has to be Bukayo Saka.
Yeah,
Because
star boy.
It has to be the star boy, man. Listen, man. Look, I know in the last 10 games, in these crucial 10 games that, you know, the title running, he's kind of gone missing, but we know the reasons why. And he's still more or less in some of those games played
What
well.
are you saying? Southgate playing him for 2 full 90 minutes?
Bro, he's had an unbelievable. I think it's like I can't remember what the stat is, but it's like 70-something plus games, bro, consecutive games, and he's only been rested in one of those games. You know what I mean? Where he still played, and for him to do what he's done this season, hitting double figures in goals and assists, star boy all day, every day.
Who was your favourite player this season? Not necessarily the best player, just who was your favourite?
Oh, my favourite. It's a tricky one, but I've thought about this question before, and something keeps drawing me towards saying Ben White, just because I think he's been asked to do a job, and you can't fault what he's done. He's playing out of position, and you can't fault anything he's
but
done.
he looks like a right back, innit?
I can't actually think of a bad game he's had, so maybe he wasn't our most important or our best player, but he's someone that's really stepped up.
Who was your favourite player this season? Not necessarily the best, just who your favourite player this season
I
was.
think favourite to watch, surprisingly, was Granit Xhaka, because I've loved seeing him going forward more this season, and he's contributed with a lot of goals, and I think he's been a key player in the season and been a bit of an unsung hero.
Who's your favourite player this season? Not necessarily the best, just your favourite.
Odegaard. The way he moves with the ball is spectacular.
I think Saliba. I think the expectation was a bit lower than it should have been with League Young Player of the Season, and I think he was brilliant for us all season after the injury.
Who do you think player of the season
bro,
was?
for me,
best player?
it has to be William Saliba, you know.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I know a lot of people are going to go with attackers and so forth. But at the defence, you know, Gabriel's been a giant. He's been a titan. He's effectively the leader in that squad. But for me, I think the person that kind of made everything click together, I'm talking about defending with panache and, you know, playing from the back, it was William Saliba.
So who do you think the best player was this season?
I think it's a tie between. I'm gonna say Odegaard.
Yeah.
I'll say Odegaard. I think it's got to be him. Martinelli.
Who else did you pick? Martinelli.
Martinelli.
Who was your player of the season? Like, who was the best player this season?
For me, it was Martin Odegaard. He's just been a different level this year, and he's brought me back to memories of Mesut Ozil a good few years ago.
But with the work rate?
With the work rate, exactly. He tracks back the ball. He doesn't. Ozil was lazy a little bit.
Who do you think the player this season was? Who was the best player this season?
Odegaard.
Odegaard. Yeah. Who do you think was the most improved player this season?
The most improved
Or the one that surprised you the most?
100% Granit Xhaka. I think a
Alright,
lot
cool.
of people
Yeah.
will go for that. Granit Xhaka, you know, 7 years, obviously this is going to be his last year. 7 or 8 years, this is going to be his last year.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, he's really surprised us. This year, definitely, you know, in terms of goals and assists, and just the overall playing that more advanced role, Granit Xhaka.
Who surprised you the most this season? In a positive way.
Surprised me the most this season. I would say Eddie Nketiah.
Yep.
Because I don't think we'd be even talking about the title race from January if he didn't come in and do such a good job he did.
Yeah,
I didn't expect him to come in and hold it down, but he really did. And he got a few goals here and there as well.
Who impressed you? Who surprised you the most in a positive way?
When he came on, Reece Nelson, the way
he looked good, didn't he?
Especially when he came on against City, like he looked like he had something there.
I thought Ben White right back has done really well the whole season, and it'd be nice if we get a backup for him so he doesn't have to play as much next season. But yeah, he suited that role well.
Keep or sell? Because there's a few players that we're not sure whether we're going to keep or not. Right. So Eddie Nketiah, keep or sell?
Sell.
Sell. Balogun, keep or sell?
Sell.
Right. Okay. Emil Smith-Rowe, keep or sell?
Keep.
Okay. Reece Nelson, keep or sell? I
Sell.
know he's looking like he's probably going to sign
He's going to sign a new contract, but for me, I would have sold him.
All right. Kieran Tierney, keep or sell?
Kieran Tierney, I don't mind selling if we sell for the right money. If we
Okay.
sell 40 million and above, cool. But I'd rather keep him.
All right,
He's
cool.
a good cover. He's a good player.
Rob Holding, keep or sell? Well,
Rob Holding, sell.
I'm going to couple quick fire, keep or sell.
All right.
Right? Eddie Nketiah, keep or sell?
Yeah, I'm contradicting myself now. I'd say so.
I hear you. I hear you. All right. Balogun, keep or sell?
Keep.
Keep. All right. Emil Smith-Rowe.
Tricky one. Keep, because I think he can do a job in Odegaard's position.
All right. Reece Nelson. I know he looks like he's going to sign the contract, but would you keep or sell it?
Keep.
Keep. All right. Kieran Tierney.
So,
Sell.
yeah, sell him.
Ah, no emotion on your face.
No, I just think there's
no. I'm not. You don't have to justify yourself, but I rate it.
Yeah, no, there's good value in him still, and he is a backup at the moment. So.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Rob Holding.
So,
I'm going to do some quick fire keep or sell. Eddie Nketiah.
Keep.
Keep.
Yeah.
Balogun, keep or sell? You can change your first answer.
It's the money profit. Like we could sell him now for a good amount of money, but is he worth keeping on if we already have Jesus and Nketiah? Probably sell.
Sell? Okay, fair enough. Emil Smith-Rowe.
I'd sell him as well.
Okay.
Sadly.
Reece Nelson. I know he's probably going to sign a contract, but what if you was in charge? Would you keep or sell him?
I'd keep him just because of that goal against Bournemouth. Not gonna lie.
Fair enough. We've already spoken about him. Kieran Tierney, keep or sell?
I think he's out. I think he is gone, but I would keep him if I was the manager. So.
Okay. And Rob Holding, keep or sell?
I'd sell Rob Holding.
Keep or sells? Right. So you're in charge. You get to make the decision, right? Eddie Nketiah, keep or sell?
Sell.
So,
Balogun, keep or sell?
keep. See how he does in pre-season.
That's fair. But I need an answer.
From what I've watched, keep. I think he's
Fair
got more
enough.
than Nketiah does to him.
Emil Smith-Rowe.
Keep. He's Smith-Rowe. Like, you can't sell him.
Sell for over 55 mil.
Okay. He's a money man. Reece Nelson, keep or sell?
Keep. Have to keep. 100%. He goes on a free if not.
All right. Kieran Tierney, keep or sell?
I think he's gone anyway, so probably sell.
So, need someone who suits the formation better.
Rob Holding, keep or sell?
Sell.
So,
You mentioned Granit Xhaka. What would you rate his overall time at Arsenal?
You know what? Yeah, Granit
From when he first signed to his the down,
Till now,
then the
basically.
redemption
Till
arc
today.
to now.
to
What would you
this
give him
very
out of 10?
moment. Do you know what? Yeah, I would say Granit Xhaka. I've always liked his
energy, innit?
Yeah, combative. Is that how you say it?
Combativeness.
Combativeness. I've always liked his aggression
Yeah.
when it's been used right, when it's been utilised in the right way. But we've all been privy to the mistakes. We've all been privy to the costly mistakes that led directly to goals
Yeah.
and errors. You know, critical situations. And for me, it's time for us to move forward. Ultimately, for me, his
What
time
would
at
you rank his
Arsenal.
time?
Ultimately, for me, his time at Arsenal was a failure, bro. I will have to rate it like a 4 out of 10.
4 out of
If
10?
you're gonna give me out of 10, I'll have to rate his time at Arsenal a 4 out of 10. Especially
Alright,
because
cool.
of that highlighted moment, you know,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you obviously, you know, the swearing at the fans and taking off the shirt. And, you know, for me, it's like, okay, you did good the last 2 seasons, but it's almost like you played for Mikel, not so much for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because
I
we
hear
didn't
you.
see that in the other seasons. But, you know, keep in mind, Granit Xhaka, we came in, we were still in the Champions League, bro.
Yeah.
And his time will
It was him or Kante.
Yeah, his legacy will be earmarked at the time where we was out of the Champions League, struggling through the years in the Europa League and not going anywhere. So that for me, it's a 4 out of 10. If anything, a 3 out of 10, to be honest with you.
Oh, man said 3. Xhaka's confirmed that he's leaving. Out of 10, what would you rate his overall time at Arsenal, his entire stint at Arsenal? So that's the highs, the lows, the redemption. Overall, what would you rate him out of 10?
give him a 7.
7?
7, yeah, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
That's pretty fair. Granit Xhaka, he was your favourite player this season. It's confirmed that he's going to leave. What would you rate his entire time at Arsenal?
Well, that's a difficult question, like, because it started off well, to be honest, but then kind of just before COVID it dipped, and then, to be fair to me, rebuilt his reputation. So I'd give him a solid 7. Like, he'd be remembered by fans as a kind of polarising character in a way. Like you either love him or hate him. He's like Marmite, but I certainly love him as a player. And
So you like Marmite? What would you rate Granit Xhaka's entire Arsenal career out of 10?
Entire. Oh, probably like. He's recovered it this season, but probably like a 6.
I think initially he was underrated. I think people thought he was worse than he was, and he made a couple mistakes and people overreact. And then I think this season he's actually been slightly overrated, and he's a bit like immobile for our system. So I'd say overall a 7.
To replace him, who would you put him in midfield? Who would you prefer to see?
1
Moise
million
Caicedo or Declan Rice?
1,000,000% Declan Rice, bro.
Alright, cool.
And I think, you know, for me, I've always been a fan where I've always appreciated the concept of an English spine. I've always appreciated the concept of, you know, tall, bulky players that obviously have levels of technical ability. I think, to be honest with you, if we was to get him, if he was to be the man to replace Granit Xhaka in that squad, we could see Declan Rice potentially being our captain in not too distant future.
He's West Ham captain.
He's that significant. So yeah, for me, him. Caicedo is brilliant, fantastic player, and if only we could get him and Caicedo, then we'll be in dreamland. But I say that to say this: if we're gonna prioritize one, for me, it's Declan Rice.
We're linked with a few very, very good Premier League proven midfielders. But if you can only have one, Rice or Caicedo, which one would you have at Arsenal?
I think I'd go Rice because we sort of know what we're going to get with him. Caicedo, there's still a bit of a gamble there. I know Rice maybe hasn't played at this level yet, but he's in the England squad, isn't he? So he kind of has. Caicedo, it's still a bit of a risk paying a big fee for someone who is young and you don't really quite know what you're going to get. But Rice, I think we know we're going to get a player.
So we just spoke about Granit Xhaka. Midfield replacement. We can pick one, either Declan Rice or Moise Caicedo. Which one are you picking?
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
And it hurts me as an Irishman because of what he did to my country. But I have to say, he's a brilliant footballer, and I think he is a genuinely good fella, and he'd bring a lot of character to that team in there. So I'd be happy to see him coming away. Yeah.
All right. To replace him in midfield, you can pick one, either Caicedo or Rice. Who are you picking?
Rice.
What would you rate this season out of 10?
Boy, out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7 because season also means the cups, right?
I'm the same opinion.
Yeah, so I have to say 7. I mean, it could border on a 6, and some people might push it to an 8, but I think 7's fair because we've actually had an enjoyable season for the first time in
looking forward to games
over a decade. So for that, the rating goes up. For going toe-to-toe with Man City for 32 games of the season, the rating goes up. But the way we fucked it at the end, you had the League Cup exit, you had the FA Cup exit, and the way we went out in the Europa against Sporting, that drags it down a bit. So I think 7 is me being fair.
Yeah. Like, even with Man City not having to kick a ball to actually lift the trophy, because that's what bun me.
Yeah, trust me. Because it was gone by then. Man already knew after Southampton.
But at least make them have a little, just a little bit of pressure.
Finish as close as you can behind them. I mean, like, look this week. All right, people can say Man City dropped points to Brighton and Brentford because they had already won the league, and that's fair. But those 2 games were always going to be difficult. What we had to do was bring it to those 2 games, and we fucked up.
Yeah, man.
At 7, I'm gonna. No,
bro. I agree with you, man.
Yeah?
Turkish, thank you very much, bro.
My bro.
What would you rank our season overall out of 10?
Our season overall out of 10, do you know what? Yeah, it's been a tumultuous season, a season full of dreams, full of hopes, a season that we've, gone away to grounds and literally enjoyed ourselves, bro. A season where it's been a bit nervy at the Emirates. Hopefully it's not today. Hopefully we have a great last game of the season. But I will have to say, overall, even though we bottled the league in a sense, we bottled the league to a formidable side, which is Man City. So for that, I would still say we had a fantastic season. Great highlights that these young players giving us, absolutely, tremendous games we've witnessed this season. I can think back of, breaking the duck at Tottenham. I can think of the Bournemouth performances away from home and at home as well. Look, to give you a number, I would say 7, bro.
7 out of 10?
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
7.5, yeah. 7.
Alright, cool, man. Hey, Bucks.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Bro, pleasure to have you, bro.
Man. All day, every day.
Hey, listen, go check him out on YouTube as well, man. Links and all of that will be down there.
100%. Bucky's View. You already know YouTube. I'm doing my podcasting. I'm doing my live previews, my reviews, my sort of game experiences as well, and much more to come out in the future. Check it out, please. Support.
What would you rate the season overall? Out of 10.
Out of 10, can't be less than a 9. Can't be less than a 9. It's, if we won a title or won anything, I guess I'd give it a 10. But I think it's the best season we've ever had to not win a trophy, to be honest with you. And just because we didn't win the Prem, I think maybe Europa League we could have done a bit better. But we put all our eggs in one basket, didn't we? That was a bit poor. We got a tough draw in that. League Cup was poor.
Yeah.
Maybe a 9 is generous. 8.5.
Yeah. Calm, man. Well, that's it, man. Liam,
yeah.
Pleasure to meet you, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.
And last question, what would you rate our season out of 10?
7.5. It's 3/4 of the way there through the season, and we need that other quarter just to push us over the line maybe next year, hopefully.
That is a very fair assessment. My bro, that's it, man. Thank you very much. Great interview.
much.
What would you give the season overall out of 10?
8. 9.
And even with like dodgy FA Cup, dodgy League Cup,
9.
Europa League?
9.
Yeah? Still? Yeah. Alright, that's it, man. Boys, thank you very much. What's your opinion on this season, my bro? Real quick.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? Well,
Yeah.
even with the dodgy FA Cup run, the dodgy Europa League run.
Second in the league. You competed until the 35th game of the season, so you took them
Yeah.
kind of deep pause. But no trophy, so you can't get more than a 7, bro.
But
You get me?
City didn't even have to win their game. They didn't kick a ball and we gave them the league, bro.
Yeah, but still, 35 games. No
Yeah,
one
no,
else
no,
could.
I hear you.
No one else could compete.
I'll give them about
Do you
7
understand?
myself.
No one else could compete. Like Man United didn't compete. Chelsea, let's say we get into that one. Tottenham, fuck them, man. Liverpool, Klopp's moving like Wenger.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we were the only one that could step up.
Yeah.
But next season, we're coming for your ass.
Coming for
Pause.
them bomber
We
club.
don't come for no man batty, we come for gal. And no gal batty. Gal pum pum we are deal with, yeah? A war.
Hey, Troopz, you're a G.